Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. I am Adanna Combie, and we continue conversations this morning in studio, and we speak with Assistant Secretary, Councillor Orlando Kerr, Assistant Secretary in the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development. And guess what we're talking about this morning? Yes, a wonderful initiative if you ask me. We're talking about Adopt a Bus Shed. Yes, you might have seen recently renovated bus shed there at the Orkinskill roundabout, now known as the Bertil Sinclair roundabout. Is that what? Yep. And so we're going to have that conversation this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for having me on set this morning.
Of course, and I just want to read a little excerpt really quickly here. It says, Dominion Appliances and Gift Shop leads the way in inspiring Tobago's businesses to partner with the THA to create safer, more comfortable bus stops across the island. And I'm thinking this is such a wonderful initiative coming out of the division. And of course, I'm asking, where did this idea come from? Where did it stem from?
Well, this idea basically came from the fact that the reality is that we have a budget of about 500,000 to maintain, to build, to repair all our bus sheds across the island. And as you, I'm sure, would realize that is way below what will be required. So when I came to the division, I was previously at education, and we started to look at possible ways in which we can, lift the standard of the bus sheds. Because if you drive around the island, you would see that many of them are in a state of disrepair. And, we sat and I don't think it's a new idea, but I think it is one that I just decided that we're going to try to run with. So when Dominion contacted us and they expressed their interest, it was Dominion and Kiwanis. I said, you know what, let's try this. Let's try this. So we sat and we discussed, and, we did an MOU with Dominion, and they were very excited to start. I must say that Dominion were really pushing us. And, when we saw what happened and so on, we decided that, what, this is a really good initiative for Tobago. Because, it's about service to the people. As you said earlier, it's about having bus sheds, in a really nice, clean, safe, so that persons can feel comfortable when they are waiting on the bus or even if they are waiting for transport. And, that idea was born. And, I must give kudos to the staff at the division, because they were very supportive, because we have had to do audits of our bus sheds, which involve PEU, and I also want to big up our coordinator, Ms. Dela Jerry, because when I said that, we're going to run with this, they were willing and ready and eager for us to do it. So that, we are indeed very happy at the division, because we believe that public-private partnerships is the way to go. We have been clamoring and saying that we are not getting enough, which we continue to clamor, but we are saying that we cannot throw our hands in the air and give up and say, well, we're not getting enough and we can't do anything. We have to find creative ways. We have to find innovative ways. Additionally, I think that this partnership is very symbiotic, because I think that the businesses are going to benefit tremendously. I notice, I'm not a person who's always online, but I noticed the number of views that Dominion got when they started to put this up on social media and so on. And I think it has been a very positive response so far from the public in general and from, the business sector.
Can I ask, I know you said that you had to do an audit of the bus stops on the island. Are you able to say how many we have and how many are part of this project? If even you're doing it phase by phase, perhaps, how many do we have and how many are going to be a part of this project? Okay,
so it's a lot. It's a huge project that we are determined to ensure that we see to fruition. We have started the audit. We have not completed the audit because it's a large number of bus sheds. And the audit is a comprehensive audit in that we not only look at where they are, but we look at the condition that they're in and also develop scopes of what is required to bring them up to standard. The good news is that most of the bus sheds can simply be renovated, cleaned and renovated. There are some that we have decided and we have earmarked for demolition and rebuilding. Those that are on the highway, those that are Bishops, Signal Hill, well, the one at Shaw Park was demolished.
Well,
right? And those of that style that were there since I was going to school. I wouldn't tell you what year that was. And we believe that we have to move the island forward. And, you know, the reality is across the globe, brick and mortar bus sheds have been phased out, really. So we cannot rebuild all of our bus sheds. So, like, for example, the one at Orkinsky or Bertie Sinclair roundabout, that one was recently constructed. The structures were sound, because that is the other thing that we do. We look at the structures to see, make sure that they're sound and so on. And then we'll go through the process of whoever wants to adopt the bus shed. But it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a very ambitious, I should say, projection we have in terms of trying to rebuild some of them and renovating some of them. All of the bus sheds across the islands are available for help, for persons to come on board and partner with us. We're not going to limit the partnership. We have had a very good response so far, and we are hoping that this response continues. What we have, as I said, is that we have some that we intend to rebuild, and of course we will partner with anybody who has any resources to add to that.
And has it been an invitation process? How do you, is a specific target? How do you determine who the company is, the business owner, whoever? I know you said Dominion came to you, but how did they know about it? Did you send out an invitation? Was there a publication? How did that process happen?
No, when Dominion came, it was an idea that was now planted, because we also have indicated to Be Mobile and Digicel that we wanted to partner with them on this initiative, because we are seeing modernizing our bus sheds as a part of the initiative. Our plan is to, especially those that in the school zones, to have them with the Wi-Fi access. Eventually, we're going to have those indicators with the bus, the time that the bus is coming. And so we really want to move Tobago in the direction that making it the greatest little island on the planet. And therefore, we have to start to change how we do things. So that we have some very ambitious plans, as I said. So in discussion with Be Mobile and Digicel and so on, and then Dominion came on board, we recognized that this is a very good avenue, a very lucrative avenue for us to move the bus sheds on the island to a state where people are comfortable and they're modern and so on. So the discussion with Dominion sort of kickstart the whole idea of doing it on a larger scale. So we said that, you know what, when Dominion is completed, and by the way, Dominion is also doing another one at Forest Junction in Canaan, I think, Canaan Bonacourt, the one by the church there. Right. So they're also doing that. So we said that, you know, this is something that can really blossom into something good for Tobago. And therefore, we started to look at how we can make this happen on a larger scale. So we started with the concept, and we decided that, you know, and to be quite truthful, there are some things that we are still in the process of doing. But one of the things that we don't want to do is to hold back the process and try to get everything, you know, as perfect as possible before we start. We believe that there's merit in starting. There are some that are already available. We have started the audit on those from, I forget the name of the junction now, where the Harmons High School is, right, all the way up to Windward, Rockleyville, right, Rockleyville Junction, all the way up to Windward and around the north side. So for that, we have a total of 25. There are some that are really bad that we will have to demolish, and there are some that we just need to do some cleaning and refurbishing. So that we are excited about it. We have seen the potential. We have had some very ambitious proposals so far that we are looking forward to partnering with persons and so on. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but very soon Tobago will be seeing this transformation across the island. It is not a project just for Scarborough and environs. It is across the island. So that, you know, what we try to do is to encourage businesses, and not only businesses, because we actually have a village council on board who is adopting one. We have, as I said earlier, an NGO, which is Kiwanis. We have been approached by, you know, a lot of persons, and therefore we are, you know, going to look at the information, and we are going to have partnerships. We're going to have interviews, because of course we want to know what it is you want to do, because, you know, we have to be careful. As they say in Tobago, they go kill we. If things go awry, you know, we got to get it. So we have to try our best to make sure that we do our due diligence in terms of the businesses and the organizations that are coming on board. But so far the response has been a very positive one. And, you know, we want to encourage the rest of Tobago to get on board, you know, in whatever little way. And it may not be this initiative, because there are other initiatives that we will be asking Tobago to partner with us on.
And, of course, a welcomed idea. And you mentioned earlier about, also upgrading them in terms of providing Wi-Fi and the different types of features that you see at bus shelters at international destinations like in London and all these other parts of the globe. So, of course, I'll be looking forward to seeing that measure of implementation as well. I know it will take time, yes, but we welcome the opportunity. In terms of the partnership, are we able to speak on the ratio as to how that was worked out in terms of, okay, so the business will contribute a certain percentage and the division will do a certain percentage in terms of management upkeep? What is that looking like in terms of the agreements?
All right. Well, it actually varies, right? Because the reality is that we are open to working with whatever resources, and it all depends on what is required. Because in some instances, some of the bus shelters will just require a little painting, changing one or two sheets of the roofing and that kind of thing. Generally, for those that are being refurbished, whoever adopts the bus shelter will normally handle that cost, because, of course, they are going to, on the flip side, get that necessary publicity, advertising, and branding. Of course, part of the MOU stipulates that you must also include the THE logo, because it's a partnership, right? Those that we plan to actually demolish and build, we continue the conversation with that in terms of what you can provide. I think that we have not actually made it a general thing. I think that every business and every bus shed, we intend to have interviews with the persons to sit and have discussions. So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of scenario. You come to us and say to us, like, okay, we want to adopt the one at Lambo on the highway, right? When we look at it, when we look at the evaluation of what needs to be done, because our PEU have been evaluating them, we will sit and have discussions with you as to what it is that you can provide, what it is that you think, and we want to have an idea what you plan to do, because we don't want any surprises, right?
Right.
And that is where the discussion, comes about. So it depends on what is required. We are willing to partner. In some instances, the business will do the full renovation. In some instances, we will assist in terms of our technical capacity within the division. So it depends on what is required.
Right.
So we are willing to be flexible, in terms of having this initiative really roll out in the kind of way that we want it to be.
And one of the very important things for projects of this nature is also the maintenance, the upkeep and maintenance, because sometimes we do beautiful things on the island and we leave them there and we walk away. So I'm hoping that the discussion also includes upkeep and maintenance of the bus sheds, because when you're talking about adopt a shed, if you adopt a child, you can't just bring the child into your home and just leave them there, no clothes, no food, no nothing, So I'm hoping that is also a part of the discussion as well.
Well, I think that you probably would have had a peek of our MOU, because we are doing things in an official way. There is an MOU that you will be required to sign with the division. We're not going to be taking away your house or your car or anything like that. But it also has that aspect built into it, because when you adopt the bus shed, you will be responsible for ensuring that it is well kept and cleaned and so on. So that there are some stipulations within the MOU that you must, as the person who's adopting the bus shed, carry out. And that is one of them, because we recognize that many of our bus sheds across the island are very, in unsanitary conditions and so on. And we know that sometimes homeless people and so on, unfortunately, we don't have a space for them as yet, but we have to ensure that, they are safe and clean for the users. So that is also built into the MOU.
And of course, just that little piece you said on the end there, of course, that's a conversation for another time,
yes,
in terms of providing social support for
yes,
persons who are displaced.
Yes.
So we'll have that at another time.
Yes.
But I must say kudos to the division and, of course, to the business community here on the island of Tobago who are coming forward to adopt a bus shed and, of course, beautifying, if nothing else, the island of Tobago, and ensuring that persons who are trying to get on a bus feel safe. And they feel a little bit of pride when they look and they see businesses in the communities of Tobago, not just businesses, as you mentioned, NGOs, yes, and other stakeholders wanting to be a part of this initiative. So many congratulations to the division. Many congratulations to Dominion Appliances, who, of course, is a leader in all things business on the island of Tobago. I must say, there as well, congratulations to you. And we look forward to better and greater things coming out of the division. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Councillor Orlando Kerr, Assistant Secretary in the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development. Continue to look for those bus sheds across the island of Tobago from the east, the west, the north and the south. None is going to be left undone, I guarantee you. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Black Friday starts now at Courts. Get new and amazing deals every week with the lowest prices on the hottest electronics, top-of-the-line appliances, and stylish furniture. No need to waste your time shopping around. Plus, you can shop now and pay us in February 2025. Black Friday starts now. Don't miss out. Courts, bringing value home. Black Friday starts now at...
The future of farming is here. The Tobago Agritech Summit 2024 is happening December 1st to 3rd at the Shore Park Complex. With climate change reshaping our agriculture, it's time to adapt. Discover the latest in farming and fishing technology, sustainable practices, and innovative solutions. Get inspired by industry leaders, cutting-edge tools, and hands-on experiences. Tickets and more info at tags.gov.tt or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Tobago Agritech.